Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to a powerful word with sincerely CC. Tonight, we're going to be discussing dysfunctional family. I know many of us come from families that we can definitely describe as not perfect, but there are many people who have a family that could be described as absolutely dysfunctional. And the problem with family is that a lot of times family feel that they are immune to any type of hurt or pain that they dish out to their family members. They're not responsible for any of their actions, that they have no consequences for the things that they do to those that they are supposed to be related to, that they're supposed to have a blood connection, a family connection to. And many times it's the family that hurts you worse than a stranger can. And I know this from personal experience. I would definitely describe my family as dysfunctional. Um, I've had horrible experiences with family members. I've been told that I wouldn't amount to anything. I've been called every bitch in the book by aunts, uncles, cousins, and it's something that really used to hurt me. But as I grew up, I realized that family is just a word. Family is something that is not describing blood relation. It's describing the unconditional love that's given to you by those that care about you. You don't have to be related to someone for them to be your family. And people who are blood related to you seems to feel that no matter what they do or what they say, the fact that you are blood related gives them immunity to the things that they can do to you, and that's absolutely false. And a lot of us fall victim to this idea that family is bigger than anything, and that is true as long as there is an unconditional love that's being given and received in both directions. You can't continually hurt me and expect me to love you unconditionally. That doesn't happen no matter if there's a blood relation or not. And that's the reason why I have completely, if not all the way, cut myself off from my family, because there's so much dysfunction and there's this idea that you can do to people and it's supposed to be okay or looked over or forgotten because you're blood related. Um, I can say outside of my mom and my brothers, there's one other person in my family that I'm blood related to that I keep in contact with. Outside of those people, my family has a lot of dysfunction. There's a lot of jealousy. There's no support or anything like that. And I know many families that operate like that. And it's sad, but I have come to build a family through the friends that I have gotten to know over the years. And I consider those people more of my family than the blood relatives that I'm related to. Um, they're people that I can call on when I'm in need. They're people that check up on me on a regular basis. They're people that love me unconditionally. They don't go out of their way to hurt me. They don't use me. They don't, walk over me. It's really my support system. And I tell people all the time that, I don't have a close family like many other people do. And some people are confused by it, especially those who do have those families where they have regular get togethers and huge holiday parties. And, they get together and dress up and, wear pajamas and all celebrate Christmas together and things like that. My family is the type of family that only get together when somebody passes away. And my connection to my family was really only held together while my great grandmother was still alive, and she was the main person that, really looked out for me and, you know, actually kept the communication going. Because there was so much dysfunction after she passed away, I had no reason to hold on to any ties to anybody else, because there was so much dysfunction. I just really wanted to separate myself from that. And so, I love them. I have no ill feelings toward them. I wish them all the best. I wish them all success. But sometimes you have to remove yourself from toxic people, even if you're related to them. Even if you're related to them. I'm in a point in my life that I can't be around people who don't mean me any good, who don't want me to succeed, who don't want me to do well, who, have jealousy in their heart. I just can't be around those type of people, even if we're related. So I have chosen to remove myself from that. That's part of the reason why I decided to move halfway across the country, because I just didn't want to be bothered with it anymore. And there's so much selfishness along with it. And I know there's a lot of people that deal with families like that, and you have to remove yourself from those situations. You can love people from a distance. Don't get me wrong, if something was to happen and, it's in my ability to step up and be there for my family, I will. But to be around them on a daily basis, I can't do that. To talk to them on a daily basis, I can't do that, because of the amount of dysfunction that's within the family. So, in that type of situation, you have to choose yourself first. And even though you love these people, you have to remove them from your lives. I have so many associates that have dysfunctional families like that, and I have to watch them suffer all the time, because they haven't recognized that the word family is just a word. It's how you're treated. It's how people love you that makes them your family. It's not the blood relation. And they've been stabbed in the back. They've been hurt. They've been disrespected by the people that's supposed to love them unconditionally, that's related to them. And they're not. They get more love from their friends, from the community that they build around them, than from their blood family. And you have to realize that sometimes you have to walk away from those people, even though that is the model family that you're supposed to have. Just having that support system, those roots of a few people here and there, even if it's 2 or 3 of those people that you can absolutely depend on, absolutely support you, absolutely love you unconditionally, that's what matters. It doesn't matter if they're related to you or not. And you have to recognize when you have to cut people off. You have to recognize when you have to walk away from people that are toxic, even if you are related to them. At the end of the day, it's all about your self-love and you being prosperous and you being successful and having that positive support system around you. And if your family can't do that for you, then sometimes you have to separate yourself from them. It's okay to do that. It's okay to love yourself enough to remove yourself from people who mean you no good, even if you love them, even if they're your relatives, even if they're your mom and dad. There's a lot of toxic families out there that have toxic moms, toxic fathers. They're bringing a lot of ghosts, a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of baggage from their childhoods, from their experiences into their parenting skills, and it's causing so much pain on their children. They're mistreating you because of something that happened to them years before. You have mothers who won't even kiss or hug their children, who talk down on their children, who beat and abuse their children because they remind them of the man that used to beat and abuse them. They remind them of their father. Remind them of, how their parents used to treat them when they were children. So they treat you the same way. They blame you because they weren't able to succeed in whatever their dream was in life because they had you at an early age. So now they mistreat you because they look at you and they see their failure. There's a lot of dysfunction, and you have to learn to walk away from people even when it hurts, even when they're your blood relatives, even when they're your parents. Because at the end of the day, nobody is going to love you the way you're going to love you. Nobody's going to love you unconditionally the way God loves you unconditionally. And as long as you have the love of God and the love of yourself, that's the most important thing. And when you have that, you'll be able to choose the correct support system for you to be able to succeed in the things that you need to do in life. That's so important. So remember that at the end of the day, choose those who have your back, choose those who love you unconditionally, and remove people who mean you no good. Choose you first, and always. Thank you for listening to me tonight. This was a very deep conversation, and I know it hits home for a lot of people, especially me. But I hope to have more of these conversations in the future. I'll talk to you soon. Good night.